Well, ladies and gentlemen, I recently spent $8.50 last night on a movie ticket to go watch Night Swim, and well, I'm here to let the world know by doing a review on it. So, well, without further ado, let's get this shit show on the road, shall we?
Marco.
Life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love.
Hello everyone, it is your host, Reviews Kingdom, and today I am back for another review. And well, as you can see, I'm stuck in the 4:3 aspect ratio. I couldn't tell you why. I don't know why, but you know what? Some questions are better left unanswered, because, just shit happens sometimes, One day you just wake up and then, well, you're in the 4:3 aspect ratio, and well, what do you do about that? But anyways, that's besides the point. I am back for another review, and in this review, I decided to take a break from all the retrospectives. So I'm gonna take a break from Skillet, gonna take a break from System of a Down for a moment, and I'm just gonna have a project where I don't have to worry about returning to this thing in the next 10 videos. And the movie I've chosen to review, in this review in particular, is called Night Swim. And, well, I've heard lots of great things about this movie. How it's a terrible movie, how it's awful, and how it's one of the worst movies of 2024 so far. Just all around positive things. But, here in the Reviews Kingdom channel, I strive for positivity. I go in with an open mind. I don't let reviews influence me. I mean, who knows? Maybe this movie could be better than what people saying it is. So, yeah, I'm just that much of a positive guy. I just don't want to be a negative Nancy. I don't want to go in saying that, oh, this movie will suck. Even though the trailer didn't exactly make itself to look like it would be the greatest thing to ever come out. But I'm getting off topic, people. I'm getting off topic. So, without further ado, let's take a look into Night Swim. God help us all. So, as per usual, before I start this review, I feel like it's necessary to go over a little history before diving into this movie head first. So, for those of you who don't know or are just flat out unaware about this movie, the movie Night Swim was directed by Brian Maguire and written by Megan Golden. The film focuses around a family who move into a new home, and in this home, they discover a pool that's been covered up and hidden from sight. Everything is going all smoothly until they come to realize that the pool is not what it seems, as it is a magical pool capable of either curing or killing someone. Take note, please, I did not make that up. This is 100% what happens in the whole movie. But anyways, I'm getting off track. The film was released on January 5th of this year, and the film opened up with polarizing review from critics and audiences alike, tearing the film to shreds for its laughable premise and terrible acting. It didn't exactly do well financially either, as it became the second Blumhouse flop since Firestarter in 2022, bringing in only $12.5 million at the box office on its opening weekend. I first heard about this movie when I went to go see a movie, It's a Wonderful Knife, which is a whole nother can of worms in of itself. But anyways, I saw the trailer before the movie started. My first impressions was that it looked pretty bad, but in a so bad it's good kind of way. It just looks so stupid that I thought maybe it could still be a fun time, and well, was it a good time? Well, let's find out. So, normally I wait until the end of the review to state whether I liked or disliked the piece of media I'm talking about, but in this case, not so much. I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. This movie absolutely blows. Yeah, shocker, I know, the Pan Blumhouse movie is bad, I completely get that. But keep in mind, people, I try my best to go into these things with an open mind. Plenty of people hated Halloween Ends and Halloween Kills, and yet I really like those movies, so you can't really blame me for wanting to go in with an open mind. After all, I go to watch movies to be entertained, so regardless of if it was bad or good, I was still hoping to be entertained in some capacity. And well, Night Swim didn't exactly fully give me that stupidity fun experience I was hoping for. It has its moments here and there, sure, but it doesn't really live up to any expectations I had, even if they were already kind of low to begin with. But anyways, enough of the chit chat, let's go into why, and I, and many others, think that this movie is just flat out terrible. So the biggest pet peeve of mine throughout this entire ordeal was its premise and how completely and utterly wasted it was. As I mentioned before, this movie centers around an evil and scary pool. The concept alone is just astronomically stupid. The fact that some people in a writing room came together and said that this was a concept worth investing time and money into is honestly just kind of hilarious. Hearing the concept alone is already opening the door for so much potential. It sounds really stupid, don't get me wrong, but it has some of the great greatest potential to be one of the best B horror movies to come out. I mean, it's a movie about a killer pool. It just sounds like a shitpost. And I think it would be a fun time with that kind of movie. The problem, however, lies in its execution. This has got to be one of the most boring and dull movies Blumhouse has came out with by far. Instead of taking its concept and just going buck wild with it, the movie plays it super straight with no self-awareness whatsoever, without knowing it's a movie about a goddamn killer pool. I refuse to take a movie like this seriously with a concept like that, and the movie should have just embraced the goofy premise. Instead, we got a movie that takes itself way too serious, like it's some art house flick or something. It almost feels like I'm watching a very shitty 2000s direct-to-DVD horror movie. You know what this film reminds me of? The Gingerdead Man. Yeah, that's right, the Gingerdead Man. Yes, I actually own a copy of the Gingerdead Man on DVD. Fucking bite me. Wait a minute. It's all coming to me now. Wait. The shitty 2000s horror movie. The Gingerdead Man on DVD. Oh god. I think I know why I'm stuck in 4x3. Oh god. I'm being transported back to the early 2000s. Oh god damn it. What the hell is happening? Anyways, as I was saying, this film reminds me a lot of movies like The Gingerdead Man. You know, the movie where Gary Busey plays a criminal that gets executed and turned into a killer gingerbread cookie. Yeah, that's the one. Only difference with this film and Night Swim is that The Gingerdead Man knows it's a stupid as shit movie about a killer cookie. They knew they weren't making the next Goodfellas, even if it wasn't really that funny to begin with. Night Swim, however, doesn't take this approach, and I'm left wondering how the hell this movie somehow made its way to theaters. Now, aside from the pool being murderous and evil, it can also turn people evil by releasing black goo from the drain, and this turns people into evil, scary edgelords. We see this play out in the dad character. It's revealed that he has a bad illness that prevents him from doing any physical activity, such as playing baseball, but when he falls in the pool on accident, it starts to cure his illness, but at the cost of his kid's happiness, of course. You see, how it works is that you can make a wish, but you have to sacrifice something, and in this case, it's its kid's happiness. But this happened unknowingly, and I'm getting a headache trying to describe what happens in this movie. I mean, it just speaks for itself, people. Towards the end of the movie, we see this evil take over as he nearly drowns a kid and tries to murder his own daughter. It's really all over the place from here. In the end, in order to save his family, he sacrifices himself, making it one of the most confusing and conflicting endings to a movie I've seen thus far. So, if you couldn't tell, the story kinda sucks. It sounds like a blast because of how absurd it is, but I mentioned this before, that's only parts of the movie. The rest is boring filler and needless exposition about a stupid scary pool. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the acting ain't much better. I know, shocking. I'm not at all faulting the actors for this movie, they didn't come up with the story after all, and they were trying their best with what they were given with the script. But in saying that, I have to acknowledge that the acting is just flat out wooden in this movie. I get it, it's a movie about a killer pool, but none of the actors look like they were trying to sell you on the more suspenseful elements of this movie. Everyone just constantly looks like they'd rather be in any other movie that's not this one. And well, I can't blame them of course, but damn it, I wish they could have taken advantage of the script. They could have made this film so much funner, but the performances come off as dull and uninteresting. Take this one scene for instance. In the movie, there's a scene where the mom character goes to research about the pool because of all the strange occurrences it's been doing, and she manages to track down the previous owner of the house, and she goes to have a chat with her. It turns out that the previous owner sacrificed her daughter to save her son from a fatal illness, and it shows that the owner is infected with the evil pool goo with black water dripping from her eyes and mouth. However, the mom character just walks out clearly not startled or frightened as to what just happened. The acting made it seem like this shit just happens on a daily basis, it's just like none of these actors sell their performances whatsoever. However, I will give this movie this. Once the dad character becomes evil, things do get a little funny and enjoyable. It's not a good performance, but it was entertaining enough to say at least that they tried. Sadly though, this only happens towards the end of the movie, so you know that kinda sucks. Now, as far as cinematography goes, this really isn't doing it either. I feel like the cinematography can really benefit from this kind of movie. There could be some really great shots of the pool setting, and to its credit, there are some pretty cool shots in this movie, but the overall product of the movie just looks like a low-budget independent film on YouTube and not from a big major studio such as Universal. And I get it that Blumhouse movies usually stick to the cheap side as to make 10 times the budget back, But even saying that, the overall look at the film just looked very cheap and slapped together, like they tried with 3 or 5 shots and then just gave up halfway through. There's nothing about the look that immerses me into this world or the setting of the characters, just flat cinematography and direction overall. I know I'm asking way too much from Night Swim, but I'm really trying my hardest to think of anything to say about this movie. The entire package of this product just feels like it was made just because they needed to film it in a time slot on the film schedule. It's funny how in January of last year, we got Megan, a huge success critically and financially for Blumhouse. Blumhouse at that point showed that just because it's January doesn't mean that the movie has to be as boring as the month itself. And I know Blumhouse has their fair share of stinkers, but you can't deny how odd it is to see them go from Megan to this. Truly astonishing. Then again, it all comes down to the directors and what they bring to the table. And in this case, the director brings a terrible product, and I fucking hate it. So in conclusion, what do I think of Night Swim? And well, it pains me to say this because I really am trying to be more positive this year and not really trying to be as cynical as I used to be when it comes to my media reviews. But just, good lord, this movie blows. I went into this movie expecting it to be it's so bad it's good movie because the trailer was making it looking like one of those it's so bad it's good movies, but when I walked into it, it only delivered that to me in parts. Notice how I said parts, because the rest of the movie was just an uneventful, boring waste of time that really didn't even feel like an hour and 30 minutes. This movie just felt long as hell for no reason. Nothing happened. It's a movie about a killer pool, and it takes itself way too goddamn seriously. Like I said before, movies like The Ginger Dead Man are stupid, but they know they're stupid, and they play by their stupid rules. They know that it's stupid, and they're not taking itself seriously. Night Swim, on the other hand, takes itself way too seriously. The acting is flat, the cinematography is flat, just everything about this movie basically blows. Aside from a handful of funny moments here and there, this movie is really just not worth watching at all. Well, if you really do want to watch it, well, you should watch it by other special means, if you know what I mean. But otherwise, just stay the hell away from this movie. And just, it's true. This movie just blows. So that's my review on Night Swim. And if you want my rating on this movie, well, at this point, I'm thinking a solid 2 out of 10 is a pretty good rating at this given moment. Now, maybe I'll come back to Night Swim later down the road, and maybe I might find more enjoyment out of it, but at this given rate, I don't see myself doing that anytime soon, so yeah. Really just disappointed by this movie. I just wished it would at least be so bad it's good. But it wasn't. It was boring, and it was a disappointment. So, well, that's that. And well, on the bright side, it is only January, so it's not like it's all doom and gloom from here, because if this is the worst movie of 2024 so far, that if it's the worst that this year has to offer so far, then well, that means that all the other movies have some pretty stiff competition. And well, like I said before, it's only January and it's only the start of the year, so well, there might be more better movies that come out this year. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.